another 5 hours, you are going to be service superheroes, ladies and gentlemen, and you're going to be able to wear underpants on the outside of your clothing with pride, ladies. No more waiting until your spouse goes out to work and then slipping them on and skipping about inside.
Did you all have a good night? Yeah? Food nice? Just a little bit of beetroot there, I noticed. Oh, these eyes don't miss a thing. A bit of lamb. Who was a vegetarian? Who had the veggie option? Did you? What was that? You can't remember? What was it? Cheese? You had chicken. That's technically not a vegetarian, my love, is it? She's confused. It's all right, it's fine.
There are two questions I want you to ask going forward, right? Number one is, why do we do it this way? That's how change makers become change makers. They disrupt things, right? They challenge things. They say, well, why do we do things this way? And if somebody says, well, we've always done it that way, that's not a valid answer, right? You can't answer with stuff like that. So always ask this, why do we do it this way? And then secondly, how do we make it better? The two have to be used together. Why do we do it this way, and how do we make it better? Because it forces us to think of different things. It completely changes the way we approach challenges, changes the way we approach subjects, changes the way we approach our lives. And I promise you, I know it sounds like something from Star Trek or Deep Space Nine, it also changes your neural circuit. It literally changes the makeup of your brain.
Hang on. Go! Yes. Coming at you, love! Yes!
But this 6-hour lecture, and it is a lecture, revolves around two key facts, all right? The first fact is that 50% of the UK's customers said that they would move product provider because of poor customer service, all right? So half of your customers, regardless of whether the fact that it was broken, arrived late, there was a delay, whatever, half of them will leave purely because of poor customer service, all right? Furthermore, 53% of the UK's customers, that's just a little over half, said that they would spend more if the service they received was excellent. So, join me on a little journey.
Reinforcers are subjective. This is the thing that most people get wrong. What reinforces you won't necessarily reinforce somebody else. I don't drink alcohol. So if you say to me, Jez, that was really great, here's a case of champagne, it doesn't really drive me to make me want to do it again. If you give me book vouchers, I love books, I collect books, so I'd be all over you like a rash. Like an aggressive rash. I love books, right? But what reinforces one person doesn't necessarily reinforce another. Have you ever considered, of the team that you manage, of your people, what individually reinforces them?
About you, right? Now, how many of you here in this room are specialists in your field? Put your hand up for me. Put your hands up, all of you! Come on, lady in the back with split ends, arms in the air. Put your hands up, all for crying out loud. I mean, who do you bring me? Who are these people? How on earth can you begin to deliver anything more than a little bit ordinary if you're sat there going, oh no, we're not really special. We just provide solutions for people to keep their cars nice and safely on the road so they can go back to their families and feel confident driving it around this country, seeing all their friends and family so they're not left at home alone in a one-bedroom bedsit covered in their own sweat and piss. Come on. Oh no, I don't really do anything special. I just help the UK economy to recover by keeping local businesses on the road by ensuring they've got automotive solutions that are reliable. Come on! You're 10,000 times more important than you think you are right now.
That's the real important part of this question. Why do we do it this way, and how do we make it better? When was the last time that you gave money to somebody that you didn't like? Doesn't happen, does it? You know, I've lost count of the amount of stories I've heard of people that have gone in to buy something, have felt kind of a bit awkward, like they were intruding almost in the shop or the service, or they had to work to get somebody to give them the product or the service they wanted, so they just go somewhere else. You have a question? Or just an itch? No worries. Carry on. So, last night, while you were tucking into your lamb, I was in my room. And you'll be pleased to know, ladies and gentlemen, it took me 55 minutes, but as from now, you no longer have any complaints. I'll be honest, I was expecting a thank you, but I'll show you how. I tackled it the same way as I did with problems, really. A couple of you are one step ahead. You're just going to stop using the word problems and stop using the word complaints. It's a bit of an anticlimax there. I'll explain why. This woman looks so underwhelmed, it's untrue. You look like Mrs. Jez. Use the words challenges and barriers. Changes the way you approach things. Don't use the word complaints. Use negative customer feedback, because that's what it is.
The thing is this, right? Language is so critically important. It's key to how we respond to things. It changes our behavior. And the thing is this, if you think of something of a problem, it kind of sounds a bit negative, right? It's got that kind of negative connotation about it. It sounds like there's going to be a problem, an issue. If you stop using the word problem and you use instead the word challenge or barrier, it completely changes how we approach something, right? It changes, literally, rewrites the neural circuitry inside your brain.
If you look for somebody that can't achieve, you look for somebody that's not going to be any good, that's what you get. You need to encourage people to be what they can be.
Customer service is critical because service drives sales. And those people that think that service is just an additional bolt-on if you've got time, they're those people that are going a little bit mad, all right? They're joining me in this.
Go! I'll time it. Now, the best I had was yesterday, with 1 minute and 4 seconds, and that was a group of 7-year-olds. So come on, people, you are the future of Britain. It's not starting overly well. That's it, quickly, don't kill anybody! You bought your own lunch there, lovey. You a bit... Oh, it's your Haribo, all right. Sorry. You cracked open a sandwich there. Oh, he's going on, isn't he? I'm a bit... Oh, you
can't go back and say, oh, did you have a nice time? Yeah, the lunch was nice. Did you learn anything? No, not really. We'll just carry on, shall we? Yeah, all right then. It's that thing, you know, that colloquial definition of insanity is if we keep doing the same thing and expect different results, we're all mad.
Being a role model, that's all right. I'm not asking... All right, yeah, aggressive. All right. I didn't write it. All right. Blimey, all right, love. All right! Just asking if you knew what it meant. Beginning to irritate me. Now, all right, look, I'll take it. Continue thinking about people's feelings. Continue being self-motivated and positive. Continue getting up. Good start, I always like to think. Let's start as we mean to go on. Start with the simple stuff.
I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Jez, come on, get to this superhero thing. I've always fancied myself as a little bit of a superhero. How do we do it? Well, I'm going to tell you. You've got some superpowers, ladies and gentlemen. How do we discover what your superpowers are? Well, your first one is this. I know it's an anticlimax. I wrote it. All right. When good things happen to us, all right, like you go on a roller coaster and you come off a roller coaster and your heart's pumping, your face is all flushed, you're really pumped up and excited, right? That's adrenaline. And adrenaline in our body is released when good things happen. Not exclusively, but it's when good things happen, we get this surge of adrenaline, right? But what happens, and not just roller coasters, like all good things, like nice, good things that happen to us. All right, we're there. So, you know, when anything good happens to us, we get a bit of adrenaline that leaks out, right? Not like inside. Please. In your brain, not in your brain, but it doesn't matter. But, so we get this adrenaline that leaks out. And the thing with adrenaline is we get a massive surge of adrenaline, and then very quickly it depletes back to a normal level again. That's what happens with adrenaline. It doesn't last very long, right? That's why when certain nice things happen, you fall asleep very quickly afterwards. And that's why, because it doesn't stay around very long. Now, cortisol is the stress hormone, not exclusively. But when bad things happen to us, when we get a stun or a shock, or we're jolted a bit, we get our brain kind of releases a little bit of cortisol, it kind of like leaks a little bit of cortisol out. And the same things happen in a similar way. We get a massive surge of cortisol. But the thing with cortisol is it takes an awful lot longer to return to a normal level. Does this make sense? So what does this tell us? It tells us that the bad stuff lingers longer.
Every time you come into contact with a colleague, every time you come into contact with one of your customers, one of your clients, every time you come into contact with one of your team, I want you to think, what are the giant smoke rings I could fire at this person? Now, it's scientifically proven true stuff about how humans behave and how we work. We adopt the most common emotion that surrounds us.
And the reason it happens, ladies and gentlemen, is because we don't take 100% responsibility for our behavior, and more importantly, for the consequences of the behavior and our actions.
Penny, are you Penny? Dear Penny. Thank you for keeping me moist. Oh, please. Twisting my words, Penny. Always remember that night in Havana. No. Always remember that the difference begins with you. Did you say you were married? I'll pop a kiss in for controversy. Big round of applause for Penny, please. Thank you, darling. It's very kind of you. Thanks for being a good sport. You can always make more money. It's always a way to make more money. eBay, car boot, get a different job. But we can never, ever get any more time. And what you do with the time is incredibly important because it's so finite. It's the only commodity in your life that matters. So today, remember, it starts with you and it ends with you. Whatever you want to be, whatever you want your team to be, however you want to perform, it starts and it ends with you. Thank you very much for your attention. Have a great day. See you guys.